A love story. A love story is messy and beautiful. It's a collision of imperfections that somehow create something extraordinary. Love story is not just a fairy tale, it's a journey that's sometimes painful, sometimes it's beautiful, but either way, it leaves an impact that lasts a lifetime. And that's really love stories.
How would you describe your style in spoken word? What sets you apart from other artists?
I think what sets me apart from other artists is give me a second, my wine glass. Because really, everybody else can write about love or anything really, or heartbreak or whatever. Anybody can write about anything. Anybody that goes through life and has experiences can write the same stuff I write. Maybe in different words, maybe in different languages. But at the end of the day, I think what sets me apart from everybody else is this. And I don't think I don't like to box myself into a particular niche. I like to think of myself as an artist that's just going through life. So whatever I share is basically from my life experiences, my journey as a person. So it's not going to be about just one niche because life is not always about love, about heartbreak, or about enjoyment. Life has different phases and different tides and different seasons. And I'm just like taking you guys through mine. Yeah, that kind of thing.
How do you prepare for a performance, both mentally and physically?
Mm, to me, to prepare for something like a performance, I just have to mentally. I think it has to do with my lines because it's a bit forgetful, and most times when I write stuff down, I write from a place of emotion, a place of emotion at a particular point in time. So it's possible when I'm performing that piece, it's like I'm not in that same space emotionally anymore. So I might have to memorize my lines. Other than that, I think most of it is just getting into character, getting into that space where I can speak from my depths and have you all feel what I'm feeling or what I felt when I wrote that piece. Yeah.
So, how do you see spoken word as a form of activism or social commentary?
Spoken word to me is could be both. It could be a form of activism, it could be a form of social commentary. I think it all depends on the angle the artist is coming from. And like I said, I don't believe anybody should be boxed into a niche. But for people that choose a niche, there's typically nothing wrong with that either. But I feel if you want to make your poetry a form of activism, it's good. You're doing for a good cause. And if it's just social commentary as well for you, I mean, just have fun while doing what you're doing at the end of the day.
What message or emotion do you aim to convey through your spoken words?
Of relatability. I want people to relate to me. When I write a piece, it always comes from my personal experience, what I passed through, what I'm passing through, sometimes what I'm going to pass through. So whenever I write a piece, I just want people to be able to listen to it and be like, oh yeah, I've been through that and yeah, it sucks. Or oh I could understand, or I relate, or I agree. So yeah, I think that's the feeling I want to evoke in people.
What do you think is the most important element of connecting with listeners in spoken word?
I think the message that's the most important thing. In whatever you do, your intention matters. And to me, the message that I pass across to people who hear me is most important. So if you're listening to me speak, I want to know that the message I'm passing across is clear, it's concise, it's relatable, and it's could maybe teach you one or two. Yeah, so the message is very important to me.
Can you discuss a piece by another artist that resonates with you and
Okay.
what's its impact?
Okay, I don't know if I remember it line by line, but it's a piece by William Shakespeare. Hopefully the editor will be kind enough to like put it on the screen, but it goes something like this. You say you love the rain, but you take out your umbrella when it rains. You say you love the wind, but you close up the windows when it's windy. I can't remember how the rest of the line goes, but I think the end of it says that is why I am scared, or that is why I worry when you say you love me. It just, I think to me, it just relates how love is, in as much as it's a risk, it's also ironic because we claim to love people, but at times we're not willing to do the hard work. And it's not just, I don't know, it just speaks to me a lot because I think everybody's guilty of this thing. We claim we love something, but when it gets hard, everybody just backs off. Yeah.
Name five artists or singer that have shaped your thinking.
I'm a big lover girl. I grew up listening to love songs. So Celine Dion is she's still like my goods. I love her so much. And yeah, her songs is inspired in me the belief that love is something great and beautiful and worthy of experience. I also love Sia. I love how Sia's songs are so real and sometimes they're so encouraging and motivational. Yeah, I love Sia a lot. And I love that she's just herself without bringing a face in public, hiding behind the wig and all stuff. You could just feel her, understand her, relate to her. I think William Shakespeare also shaped my or he helped William Shakespeare helped in shaping me as an artist because I was an art student in secondary school and my mom was um a graduate of English. And so we had like a library in our house and we had a lot of books, literature books from William Shakespeare. So I grew up reading, loved that. And yeah, I think the romance, it's you could say it got to me. Um, who else? Who else? Um, yeah, why is this so hard to think of? Two more. I can't think of any more people.
Any male artist, singer,
William Shakespeare is a main artist.
like a singer abroad or home. Oldies from the 90s.
I'm trying to think of someone. There's someone that is his songs. Okay, Chris Brown. I used to love the old Chris Brown. I think the new one is still great, but the old one, the I need you, and then I really love that guy back then. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Oh, Whitney Houston. How could I forget about her? Yeah, Whitney Houston was she was such a moment. God rest her soul. Yeah.
What do you hope to achieve in your career as a spoken word artist?
Hope to have an art club of my own. Just have artists from all over be able to share their art with each other, build a community, and maybe own a podcast someday where people could talk about shit. Like we just set up lights and cameras and just talk about our experiences. That would be very fun to have. Yeah. But that's it basically.
Ever tried public speaking?
Yes, I funny thing is before I began performing poetry, I've always spoken in public from church to school. And as an artist, I think I have performed at Wida. Shout out to Wida, by the way. Yeah, that's an art club and a bookstore at the same time. But yeah, they do this really cool thing where artists can gather together and just like share their art. And I've performed there a couple of times, and it was always awesome.
Share a time when you faced a challenge in your work. How did you overcome it?
And there was a time I went through a writer's block. Don't enter stupid relationship. Let me just chip in this little piece of advice, because they will take a lot from you, and you will think it's just physical until you realize it's not. But I went through a writer's block for quite a bit of time, for years actually. I was unable to write anything, and I think during that period, what did I do? I just did life basically. I was just chilling. I didn't stress it. I knew that yes, I had not written in months, but I didn't let it bother me. What I tried to do was just live in the moment and just heal myself, heal my heart, heal my mind. And eventually I was able to write again. And yeah, since then I've been very, very focused on preserving my energy.
How do you engage with other poets and artists in your community?
I already mentioned Wida, but Wida has been very instrumental in connecting me to a lot of other artists, not just in the spoken word or the poetry scene, a lot of other artists. Aside that, I think I like to follow people on Instagram as well. Anybody that hmm, does stuff I like, poetry, people I feel I could learn from. I'm talking the likes of Erastus, Poetic Sparkles, Ariana the poet as well. She's a very good inspiration. She helps me think of topics to write sometimes when I'm going through a block. I think Kingy as well is really cool. So these are people I just like follow and engage with their content as well, even though we don't know each other yet. I believe one day we will.
How do you handle feedback or criticism of your work?
I think I welcome it. If there's anything I am, it's I love to learn. I love to learn a whole lot. And I believe that nobody knows everything. You can never know everything. So if you're criticizing me or you're giving me feedback, I always look forward to it because I want to be better than the last time you saw me. So I'm always open to criticism, and even if he's hating, go no. If you're hating on me, my dear, please hate. Please do it online. Do it on my page. Invite your friends to hate on my post as well. Gather all the community of haters, and you guys should camp in my comment section. Engage there a lot. I love it. Thank you.
How do you approach writing a new piece? Do you have a specific routine or methods?
I don't have a routine. Let's start from there. There are times I get like bursts of inspiration and I write like 5, 10 pieces a day. And there are times that I don't write anything for weeks. So most of the time it's my inspiration comes from within. Sometimes I meditate and I just get clarity and I write. Sometimes I could just be doing something and a thought comes to me, I pen it down, and next thing I know it's an entire piece. So there's no routine to it. I just do act as the spirit leads. Yeah.
What role does revision play in your writing process?
Oh my god, revision is huge for me because I'm quite forgetful. And like I said, I don't believe anything can be perfect or anything is perfect in one time. You have to keep learning, tweaking, growing. So even when I write stuff before I perform them, sometimes I go back to them, I read through them again and I correct things, I revise them, and sometimes I memorize them. So if I'm performing it, it's clean and it speaks or it comes out the way I want it to come out whenever I speak. So yeah, that's how it works for me.
How do you handle burnout?
Burnout. Rest. If you're burnt out, your body is telling you you need to rest. So give it that rest. I try not to get burnt out because I know that when I crash, it always takes quite a bit of time for me to get back up. So I try to rest and walk simultaneously. And I would advise everybody else to do that.
What themes or topic inspire your spoken word piece?
My girl, and anybody that follows me knows a lot of my pieces are about love. Love, heartbreak. Unfortunately, I don't write shit about just love and its beauty and glory and all the beautiful things that love has to offer. I like to write about the painful part of it, the hurt, the heartbreak. And I also like to write about just stuff that can people can relate to. I like to motivate people. So yeah, you might find some of that kind of content or pieces on my page. But yeah, majorly it's love. I want to stop writing about boys too sharp, but I'm sorry, I like them too much.
Thank you for the compliment. Okay, so we've come to the end of the questions, and the next is pick a card game. You have to pick three cards, and you hand it over back to me while I ask the question.
Let's see. Ah, so I can pick anyone here. Yeah. This one. Um, let's shuffle it. Yeah, let's go with this one. Okay. And I would like a black card, so let's go with this one.
No, pick them down. The black card is like a directive. Okay. Okay. All right. The first one. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
What would I want to change about myself? Maybe I would ask for like bigger ass. Honestly, that's the only thing.
BBL.
No, I don't want the BB. I just want like all this fat, soft bunda. Really, that's all I want. Not BBL meat, like natural curves. But other than that, I love myself like mad. I don't want to change anything.
Can always change it out.
I'm so fucking lazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. I'll think about it.
Yeah, you're welcome. If you could swap lives with anyone, who would it be?
Hmm. Lori Harvey. She's badass. She's a pretty girl. And I like the way she juggles all those men. Like I love it. I want to do it for one day.
What activities makes you lose track of time? Reflect on the things you do that bring joy to you and make you forget the world around you.
Sleep. Very simple. I love to sleep. I find it fun than every other thing you could think of. I don't if I have to go out, it means I have to charge my social battery. Once I'm in my bed, I'm happy, I'm at peace, nothing else matters. So sleep.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.